All right, day 4. Today's the Math Congress. It is the last day of this investigation into Carlos and his family. All you need is the student posters and then possibly a list of what order you want the kids to present in. It's a good idea to observe from the work they're doing and knowing the kids' personalities. Try to have an idea of who's going to go first and maybe second and third. Knowing that not everyone is going to get equal airtime necessarily. The Math Congress can be a little bit scary, especially if you haven't done this before as a teacher, because you're letting go of a lot of the control of your classroom. The kids are ideally leading the instructional component of the class. So you are still keeping control of the behaviors and the interactions, and you're facilitating the conversation, but the kids are the one explaining their thinking, and you want to keep that genuine. You want to hear their ideas as clearly as possible. And the kids in the audience are going to be better at getting clarification from each other than you as the teacher would be. If a kid is presenting and says something that doesn't make sense, their peers are going to ask them to clarify it, and you'll be amazed at how well that works, hopefully. So I encourage you to read the pages in the book. Read the example on page 28 and 29 of the book that will go through sort of a model of what the Math Congress might look like, or part of it. But here are some other hints and pointers. One is that you can start out by encouraging the students not to repeat ideas. This helps them remember to listen to each other, and when one group goes, they present something, and another group goes, they present exactly the same thing. Hopefully their peers will also point that out, and they'll start to work towards saying, instead of repeating the same whole story, saying, we did the same thing that group A did, but our picture looked a little different. So they're showing that they're listening to each other and showing that they're looking for similarities and differences. Another sort of kind mathematician, kind friend thing is to remind them to agree or disagree with each other's ideas, but not with people. So I agree with what Karen said, but I disagree with Alexis's idea. I don't think that the answer is 22. I disagree with Alexis as a person. And then another great reminder that this is a good time to use the talk moves. So as a teacher, you can use revoicing, restating, and then prompting and asking them to apply their reasoning, and then wait time. So you're saying, can you repeat what she said in your own words? Making sure the kids are all engaged in the conversation by using these 5 talk moves is a really handy trick. All right, the last thought about today is that this being the last day of this investigation, it's a great time to consider an assessment of how the kids are doing and what they've learned. So number 1, it's a great time to take a picture of the posters and put that up on Seesaw. Start documenting that and sharing that at home. As I thought of that, I realized that in yesterday's, when they're walking around doing a gallery walk, another way you could do the gallery walk is to post the Seesaw pictures, and then have the kids go on Seesaw, look at each other's work, and comment on each other's work on Seesaw. It's an amazing tool for that. So the issue is that sometimes the posters have some details or light writing on them, and it might not be clear to see on the computers. So sometimes it's better to do that hands-on. But you might elicit more thoughtful comments if they're typing them instead of, and at their own time, at their own pace, than if they're doing it while walking around and there's groups of kids and it's giggly and awkward. You might also be able to do that as a homework assignment, even though we're not giving homework in math anymore. This is one that I think fits into the category of what would be allowed. The last thing is that you can, if you're feeling really techie and ambitious, record the kids' presentations, take videos on Seesaw and then put that on, because that would be an awesome documentation of their thought and their work, and I'm sure parents would go bananas over that. And that is day 4.